Hello my crafty peeps, it's Cheyenne from PixieCrafter.com. We're going to do another fun card, and as you can see, I am stepping further out of the Stampin' Up! Box. I have pulled out my Distress inks. I'm so excited. I loved these. I still do. I do find the Stampin' Up! Inks work similarly to the Distress inks, but they do have just that little bit easier time blending, and they are a lot more water reactive. The Stampin' Up! Inks, they are a little water reactive because they are water based, but they don't go as crazy as the Tim Holtz Distress ink. So I am looking forward to having fun with this today. Alright, so I've got Fired Brick, Mustard Seed, Spiced Marmalade, Peeled Paint, Broken China, Dusty Concord. I do have the old ink blending tool and sponges. I am going to upgrade to the round ones because I am starting to get a lot more of the little cubes, and I think I need to expand my collection of Tim Holtz with the cubes. So that's going to be fun and exciting. I've got my Versamark, my embossing buddy, and some Stampin' Up! White embossing powder. I've got the sheet music background stamp from Stampin' Up! I've got Dragonfly's Dreams stamp. We're going to be using the To a Wonderful Friend sentiment. Let's see, card base, Whisper White, thick cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I've got a piece of Whisper White regular cardstock. It is 5 1/4 by 4. And I've got a strip of scrap basic black. It just has to be big enough so that our sentiment's going to fit onto it. Let's see, got my ATG gun. So happy this guy is back. I like the Stampin' Up! Snail adhesive, but I feel like I go through it like it's water. So I like the ATG gun. It keeps going and going and going. So I like to welcome it back. It's my baby. Alright, and I think that is it for now. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, first things first, I'm protecting my work surface with my, pretty sure it's the Ranger silicone mat. I do love these. I actually have 2 big size ones. I've got 2 like smaller size ones. They really come in handy so much. So I've got the excuse me, piece of the regular Whisper White cardstock. Let me get this out of the way. So just pop you in right there. There we go. Okay. So here is the sheet music stamp, the background stamp. It is the clear rubber. You can get it on the wood block if you want. I don't care for the wood blocks at all. I like that this is flexible and I can do a lot with it. And it does stick to my silicone mat, so I don't worry about it going anywhere. Alright, let's take our embossing buddy and pop that over our Whisper White. This is just going to help to make sure that the embossing powder goes where it needs to. You know what? I need a coffee filter. Alright, so on bigger projects, bigger surfaces like this where I'm going to be doing the entire sheet of paper, I do like to have a coffee filter handy to catch the extra embossing powder, because this is just not big enough to catch it all. So it's just a nice little extra little thing. And coffee filters, they're very inexpensive, so I think it is a good use of my money, because we're all budget conscious, right? Alright, so we're get that nice and inked up, and then let's go ahead and stamp this down. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper just so I don't get Versamark all over my hands. Not that that would be the worst thing in the world, but just feel like I go a little bit more, into the pressure and getting it all over when I have the piece of paper there. Alright, now there we go. We've got our impression. And now we've got, well, let me clean this off. I've got my Stampin' Mist and my Stampin' Scrub. Do love these, and they're both from Stampin' Up! Very quick and easy way to clean stamps, and it is big enough that it does cover the entire background stamp. So that is pretty wonderful. All right, now I've got my Stampin' Up! White embossing powder, and I'm just going to get this all covered in embossing powder. Alright, that is all done. Now let's get our heat tool and get that all melted. I love the Stampin' Up! Heat tool. It does have two settings on it. So one, I can go ahead and quick dry anything that I'm working on, and two, I can go ahead and melt my embossing powders. Remember to warm up your heat tool before bringing it to your project if you're using it to melt your embossing powders or anything that requires heat. Alright, so this is a lot of white on white, so I'm not sure how much you're going to be able to see it, but you can kind of see that sheen. That's okay, that's what we want at this point, because then the magic's going to happen. Now, while we have all of our embossing supplies out, let's go ahead and take that basic black strip, get some embossing buddy on it, and we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. There it is, I know it was around here somewhere. So our To a Wonderful Friend, and I'm actually going to flip it around because I think I'm going to want it to be like this. Actually, let's go more towards the center so I have some room on either side if I'm wanting to do anything with it. There we go. We've got that down there. And we'll get our white embossing powder. Right, there we go. To a Wonderful Friend. Actually, I'm gonna try to do that again because it's looking a little smeared to me. I forgot I had my press board underneath to help with the heat, because I don't want to melt my surface here. The silicone does do a good job, but it still does heat up. Alright. See if this makes a difference here. Alright, yeah, I feel that did a much better job. So we'll be keeping that one. In the meantime, we've got to clean up a little bit. There we go. And now, time for the fun magic part. So we're going to take the sheet music embossed piece. Let me bring it in a little tighter here so you can see more of the magic. And now we're just going to apply all of those Tim Holtz colors in kind of a rainbow action. So let's get started. Now, I have little Velcro discs on the back of my distress inks so that I can keep my ink blending sponges right there. Now, to see how well these have done after a year of not being used. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. A whole year and we still have plenty of color going down. That is pretty awesome. All right. And we're just going to keep building this up. I'm going to go down through the rainbow. I'm going to make sure I'm not going to have any like super straight lines, because that would be kind of sad and then it would kind of make blending harder. Now I do have to find a storage solution for these because I wasn't happy with my old one. So if you have any suggestions on how you like to store your distress inks, go ahead and let me know. Leave that in the comment section. I'm sure others will enjoy learning different ways that they can store their distress inks too. Alright, so that was fun. Love how it turned out. Sometimes you do have to go back in with the color that you used before just to get a more seamless blend, but that's okay. That's what it takes sometimes. But look at this gorgeousness. I'm just going to take this little microfiber towel. I'm just going to wipe it over, and that's going to help to pick up any of the ink that's kind of sitting on top of the embossed image. But look at that. That is like magic. I love it. So pretty. And now, you know what we got to do? We've got to add a little bit of shimmer. So let me grab. All right, this is some pearl mist that I have made myself using Pearlex powders. No, not Pearlex powders. This was Perfect Pearls. So Perfect Pearls and water. Let me make sure it's actually going to spray. Yeah, there we go. So what's nice about the Perfect Pearls powder is that it already has a binder in it. So all you have to do is add water and the powder, and you're going to get a wonderful spray, and the shimmer is actually going to stick to your paper once everything's dried. So let's give this a good spritz, and we're also going to see the distress inks kind of melt together even further, and we might even end up with some water spots, which I think is going to be really awesome because it's going to help to distress everything down. I'm not worried that it's bending up like this. I know ways that we can help to lay it down flat. So I'm going to set this aside and let it dry for a little bit. Okay, so here we are, all dry, and it is kind of curling up. So if you just kind of take it and work it in the opposite direction, it does help. You could also just place it under a heavy item, heavy object, a book, something like that. Leave it there for a few hours and that'll help press it flat. But I find that just doing this really, it helps so much. So I mean, it's flat enough. There's still some bend to it, but it's okay. I can work with it. All right, now I'm going to take some fun foam. Yes, that's right, you heard me. Fun foam that you can get in the craft store, Amazon, you know, lots of different places. And I'm just going to cut this to size to fit behind this card. And I'm not going to do anything too special to do it. I'm simply going to take off the adhesive backing because that's what makes this rather nice. And I'm just going to kind of place it on, not completely at the edge, but just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to kind of pop that up a little bit, and I am going to just go ahead and cut around like that. I really need to get the long Tim Holtz scissors because these get a sticky. The Tim Holtz, they are non-sticks, so that is something that's really lovely. So do this. Do not cut your stamped piece. That would be horrible. We spent so much time on it. Oh, alright. We'll just get that going. Put the adhesive back on that. I still have more that I can use. And let's just trim up these bits that we're starting to get a little wanky and wobbly. Oh, there we go. You could also use foam tape. I don't have any, though I do plan on purchasing it because it looks like a whole lot of fun. Alright, let's get our thick cardstock in, and we're going to go ahead and give this a nice burnish with our bone folder. There we go. We're going to go ahead and adhere this down. Let me bring you out just a little bit wider. We can still keep you close. Now the ATG gun, which is going to go ahead and stick down to the fun foam with a little bit of convincing here. You can do it, my friend. I know you can. I also have to keep my fingers out of it. That would really, really help. There we go. We can do this. I know we can. Why are you sticking to that? See? Never happens, but when you're filming a video, everything that can go wrong possibly will go wrong. Come on. You've done this before for me quite nicely. There we go. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and pop this onto the front of our card. You could, if you wanted to, go ahead and add some distressing around the edges of this. You could mat it with a little black to make it pop, but I wanted to keep it fairly simple today. Alright, now let's grab our sentiment. And I'm wanting to, actually, let's cut this at a straight line. So I'm going to get my Stampin' Trim over, because sometimes I just don't cut in a straight line. So I've just got that, and I'm just straight line, right off. Woohoo! And then over here, I'm wanting to angle it just like so. Just like that, just to add a little graphicness to it. Alright, and now I also want to take, actually, while we've got our fun foam out here, no, I'm not going to do the fun foam. Let's do dimensionals. Why not? Alright, let's pop this up on a couple dimensionals. And then this card can absolutely be done at this point. But I'm going to show you how you can amp it up a little bit. Alright, so I'm just going to pop that there. Very simple card for any of your friends that, well, it's not really a very simple. You did have to do that whole ink blending, and there's the heat emboss resist technique. So it's still very nice. But we can make it pop more. Now, any music friend that you have would love to have this. Now, this is just my Box O stuff. Extra bits and bubbles and stuff from discontinued Stampin' Up stuff, or something that you can't readily get a hold of anymore. So we could add, say, a heart, maybe a couple butterflies going up. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, look, I've got a little bow. Actually, this you can still do. Get a bow going if you wanted to. Just lots of little different things. What else do I have in this? Oh, here's a leaf. That's kind of fun. Imagine your different backgrounds that you could do with that. Oh, here's some heart action, some see-through heart. Can do one of those numbers. How about some snowflakes? Yeah, why not, right? Some little flowers. If you wanted to kind of make them go up and around. Just fun stuff, fun stuff. Oh, look, I've got a little bee here too. Hello, little bee. Can pop him on. Just have a lot of fun. Like, do what you want. Like, this is where you get to really customize it and make it your own. I want to keep this simple today, so I'm just going to keep it just like this. And I think it's gorgeous. It's wonderful. Let me bring you in a little tighter. Come closer. Come closer. Oh, there we go. It's just, I love this. Sometimes you just got to have a nice, good, simple card. Oh, all right, that is it. Oh, and it does have some shimmer. I don't think that the camera's able to pick it up too well, but there is some gorgeous shimmer happening. So that in itself, that really elevates it up to a whole new gorgeous level. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave me comments. I love to read them. Any suggestions that you have for any products that you think I would get a kick out of and fall in love with, go ahead and leave those in the comments section as well. I am renewing my journey of the entire craft world, not just Stampin' Up stuff, and I'm very excited about that. There's so many possibilities out there, and it can be kind of overwhelming, which is why I'm hoping that you guys are going to give me some recommendations. Alright, remember, a full list of the products I use can be found in the description bar below. If you click on any of my affiliate links, it does help me to keep this channel going, keep my website going, and I appreciate any help that you can give. I appreciate you supporting my small business and helping me to make my dream come true. So thank you for that so much. Alright, until next time, happy crafting. Bye! Want to see more? Here's some videos that might interest you. And remember, you can find a full list of the products I used at my website and blog, along with more project ideas and inspiration. You can also find all of my affiliate links or shop my Etsy boutique. And feel free to contact me to help book and plan a magical Disney vacation.